Welcome back, guys. Thank you for watching another video here on Knife Reviews 365. Today we're going to compare two knives that often get confused with each other because they almost look the same. We're going to be having a look at the Spyderco Delica 4 and the Pata 3. And as always, if at the ending of this video you feel like either of these knives is for you and you want to purchase one, make sure you check out the links in the description below. And if you didn't have a chance to check out the last knife video I posted, I'll leave a link for it right up here. Let's check out this video. Alright, let's start off with a quick size reference. That is a standard size Sharpie pen, but honestly on paper, these two knives are so similar in dimension and specs. Let me just throw out a few, but honestly in your pocket, you're not going to be able to tell the difference. When they're closed up like this all the way, the Pata 3 will be measuring at 4.27 inches. The Delica 4 up there at 4.25 inches. When you open this up all the way, Pata 3 has a 3-inch blade. Measure overall length will be coming in at 7.27 inches. Delica 4 has a shorter blade at 2.87 inches and opened up all the way just over 7 inches at 7.12 inches. Weight-wise, the Pata 3 is supposed to be lighter, coming in at 2.4 ounces, while the Delica 4 is supposed to be coming in at 2.5 ounces. Let's have a quick look. Alright, first on the scale is the Pata 3, 2.4 ounces, Delica 4, 2.3 ounces. All right, so the Delica 4 is supposed to be heavier. Let's do that again. It's supposed to be heavier by just a hair. 2.4, yeah, by 0.1 it's supposed to be heavier by. So this one is coming in at 2.3. But again, so similar. Let's get these up side by side and see some of the similarities and differences. So spec-wise on paper, dimensionally these knives are very similar, but visually there are some stunning differences, starting with that pocket clip. Look how sexy this lightweight pocket clip is, and look how deep it goes. It's going to go all the way down there in your pocket. That is a good-looking pocket clip. On the Delica 4, they're kind of standard clip. It's going to stop right here in your pocket, and it just doesn't look as lightweight as it does on the Pata 3. Alright, since we're talking about the clips here, the Delica 4 is fully ambidextrous. You can carry it right-handed, tip up, tip down, or left-handed, tip up, tip down. The Pata 3 can be carried right-handed, but just tip up only, left-handed, tip up only. So for some people, that's going to be a deal breaker. And of course, the big one is you get a upgraded steel with the Pata 3. Check out the difference in the blade stock here. So the VG10 is here on the Delica 4 on the orange blade. Look at how thick the difference is. It's just so different. I'm going to open this up here. So the BD1N, I consider it an upgrade to the VG10. It's more corrosion resistance. It's harder. The addition of the nitrogen in there, they can get the increased Rockwell up there to like maybe 62, 63. So it's going to chip and roll a lot less. So that means you're going to be able to sharpen it a lot less too. So a lot less maintenance. Another thing I like about the Pata 3 is the fact that there's this finger choil right up here in the front. Your fingers just fit so nicely on that blade as compared to the Delica 4, which still has the nice contoured smooth scallop handle. Very similar to what you have on the Pata 3. But there is the absence of the finger choil, but still a comfortable choice. Now, a major difference that is not evident just by looking at the blades are the locking mechanisms. So the Pata 3 has a compression lock. Basically what happens is when you open this up, there's a liner on the spine that will kick over to the base of the tang, and there's a little lock bar in there. So when Blade HQ did their testing, this was supposed to be able to hold above 400 pounds, and that is ridiculous for a lightweight folder. How you close it is there's a little notch they cut in there, which will just press the liner over to the left, and that'll unlock it. And don't worry about cutting your fingers because there's a little stop there to prevent that from happening. So that's a really robust locking mechanism. The Delica 4 has a lock back. So if you notice right here, there's a little latch in the blade. There's a notch cut out. So when you lift it, it'll unlock and fold. Now, when they tried to do their testing on this at Blade HQ, the blade stock was so thin it kept breaking off right here, so they really weren't able to test the strength of it. So I think probably the edge for locking mechanisms would have to go to the Pata 3. Alright, so now the big question is, do you want to pay the extra $20 to upgrade to the Pata 3 versus the Delica 4? Delica 4 is coming in at right around $80, the Pata 3 about $100. Normally I would say, yeah, $20 is not a big price difference to upgrade to something with a super fancy pocket clip, thicker bar stock, better steel. We got that BD1N in there, and you got that nice comfortable finger choil in the front. Normally I'd say, hey, $20, not a big deal. But you know what? The Pata 3 has a problem. Now, I am pretty positive that Spyderco took out the lining in the Pata 3 to compensate for the thicker blade stock. But for me, when I got this out of the box, it felt like a toy. It basically feels like I have an expensive piece of steel on a very cheap plastic handle. It just feels plasticky. It feels hollow all the way through. And I know it's hollow through there, but it basically just sounds so cheap. And I know it isn't. You get a little bit of flex in there, but when you pick it up, it feels like you're hanging on to a toy. Versus picking up the Delica, you know, it just feels more solid because you do have that lining there on both sides. So for me, I don't know. Like when I pick this up, I just don't have much confidence in this, even though I know that it's the better steel. That might be something to consider when trying to decide between picking up a Delica 4 and the Potter 3. Pretty much what this is going to come down to is, do you want a upgraded steel, thicker bar stock, cooler clip, a lot more comfortable blade up front on the new Potter 3, or do you want an older knife with older steel that maybe doesn't have as good edge retention and corrosion resistance like the Delica 4, but feels a lot more solid in your hand? Which one are you more likely to carry? It's going to be up to you guys. But guys, that's the ending of the video. If you want to pick up either of these two knives, check out the links in the description below. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you liked it, please give it the thumbs up. And of course, if you haven't had a chance to go check out my main channel, it's Chemo365. Also links in the description below. Once again, guys, these two knives are the Spyderco Delica 4 and the Potter 3. Thank you for watching. I'll catch you in the next video.